Hello and welcome to the transcription explanation of this design. It was done using Sherman script, which uses a combination of dots and lines on these four different stems to make our consonants, and vowels are these smaller circles here, and they have different positions depending upon what vowel they are and if they're attached on one of these four stems. So this diagram shows all possible combinations of vowel and consonant stems, where you can have like the U by itself just on the line of the word circle, a deep divot with a U, and this is that deep divot stem, a circle inside the word circle with a U, so circle inside the word circle stem, a shallow divot stem with a U, because this is a shallow divot, and then a circle on the line of the word circle stem, so this stem with a U in it. So this design is three separate phrases. I have this phrase here, and then this single word phrase here. You read bottom counterclockwise, but if you imagine an infinitely large circle, bottom counterclockwise ends up being left to right, because in an infinitely large circle, it would just keep going. So anyway, that's why it's set up like this, and you read them in this order, and also you read the words bottom counterclockwise or that left to right as well within the sentence. So here we have our two-word sentence here. This outer thing is just kind of like a sentence containment circle, and it's where you put the punctuation, which we have this comma here on these punctuation lines. And these are lines on the S. It's sneaky. But anyway, this is our first word here, and this broken line is just part of this S where the lines end on, so they don't end on this H. But anyway, here we have our first word. Here's the bottom of it. This is our first stem, and it's a deep divot, so it's in this row. And on it, there's this line and this line. The word circle lines don't count, but this line ending on it and this line ending on it do count. So those are two lines. So that's an H. And then right in the middle of the H, we have a vowel. And this is a deep divot stem, so let's look here until we see one where it's right in the middle. And an E is right in the middle of that deep divot stem, so like that. So H, E, continuing around. Here we have our next set of consonants. And these consonants are double line, so they are a double letter. So they're both circles inside the word circle, and they're the same thickness, so it's the same letter twice. And they have three dots, so that would be a double L. Then continuing around here, we have a little circle again, and this is a vowel, and it's by itself on the word circle line, and it's inside the word circle, so that would be an O. So H, E, double L, O. Then here's our next word. In between the two, we have the comma. And these two lines, they're just the sentence circle lines, so this is like the sentence circle line, and a comma is on that sentence circle line, and they don't end anywhere where they would count for anything. That's what these guys are for. But here we have 1, 2, 3 lines on a shallow divot, so that is an S. Continuing around, this is kind of a fancy shallow divot that I kind of made taper kind of around this middle bit, but what's important is that there's two lines ending on it, so that is a W. Continuing around here, we have an E on the line of the word circle. So this is like the word circle line. By the way, here's another vowel diagram. E's are on the line, I's and U's are also on the line of the word circle, unless they're enclosed on a vowel stem, on a consonant stem. So that's an E on the line of the word circle, and another E, and then these guys all pass through, so they don't count, and this is not a word anyway, this is just the line of the S. So we just keep going through here till our next stem. And this is another shallow divot, and it has nothing ending on it. This line passes through, so it doesn't count, so that is just a T. And then we have an I with a line going towards the middle, and then an E at the end of the sentence, at the end of the word and at the end of the sentence. So S, W, E, E, T, I, E. So hello, sweetie is our first little sentence thingy. And I guess this dashed line is pretty optional. I think it helps kind of like contain this. I sent you variations where this is there and it's not there, because I did everything on separate layers, so I can change stuff like that. But anyway, here's our first sentence. Here's our next sentence, or a phrase chunk. Bottom of the word circle, continuing around is how it goes. Here we have our first word. And deep divot, we have a B, because it's got no lines or dots on it, so it's just a B. And then an O on it. So here we have that B stem, and it's got an O on it like a bead on a string, so B-O. Continuing around here, we have a shallow divot, just a normal one, with 1, 2 lines on it, so it's a W, just like that W. Then we have another shallow divot with a line passing through, but nothing ending on it, so that's another T, just like this T, and an I, just like this I with a line going towards the middle. It's important that it ends before it gets back to the T, because if it ends on the T, then it would be a V like this with one line. So it doesn't end on it, it ends before it, so we're safe. But T, I, then we have an E on the line of the word circle, just like these E's. And then we have a shallow divot here because it's 50% of a circle, like a half crescent moon. And it is kind of a chunk taken out of the circle here. It just extends like this one, which is just a stylistic thing that works out. Anyway, 1, 2, 3 lines on that makes it an S. So Bowties, Bowties. Continuing around, here we have our next word. Here we have our first letter at the bottom of the word circle. It's an A because it's outside the word circle. Then we have 3 dots on a shallow divot. So that's an R, and this is a very shallow divot. Still works because it's less than 50% complete. So R, and then we have an E, so A-R-E-R. And then we have our last circle here, and we've got some overlapping consonants. So we got to find our bottom one, which is this one, and on it there are 2 dots. So that would be a K, then we have a double O, and then an L. And so this is cool, and you use the letter K instead of the letter C because you're supposed to only use the letter C in proper nouns or in acronyms. Otherwise, you're supposed to substitute the C with a K, SH, CH, or S sound, depending on how it sounds in the word. So this would be a K sound, so we use a K. So K, double O, L. Then we have the period at the end of the sentence. And you could put like a little dashed line in here. I got rid of that just because, I didn't like it. That was in the sketch, but I got rid of it. And then we have our last sentence, a single word sentence. One first stem here, it's a shallow divot, so we're in this row. And it has 1, 2, 3 dots on it, so that's an R. Then we have the circle on the line of the word circle, so it's one of these 3 vowels, and it's got a line going outwards. So that would make it a U, because U's, they go outwards, and I's go inward. So R-U. And these 3 dots are outside the sentence circle, so they are part of the exclamation point at the end of the sentence. And then we have our last letter here. We have the N. Circle inside the word circle with 1 line is an N. So R-U-N. And then I mentioned before, this is outside. This little thing is the sentence circle. And 3 dots by it makes that the exclamation point. So run, exclamation point. So yeah, these are them. I'm going to go ahead and open up the one without dash lines. So it's just not, that got rid of that thing. And I honestly like this one a little bit better because I think it has a bit more like small, big, small, and would look pretty cool on a forearm. But yeah, you can pick. So yeah, that's that. Bye.